my mics were mixed up the whole time. Lord have mercy. I got a stored all. Y'all didn't hear my story. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, now they're is going through here. Wait a minute. Okay, so I turned that down now. Father God, as I was talking, I'm like, I didn't check my mic before I started, and I don't know, you know how things it kind of click, and I was like, I need to see if the mics, oh, it would have worked too if I would have put my screen towards me. I was so excited about coming to see you guys. Maybe nobody was there the whole time. Y'all didn't hear my story about the lens. It was funny too. Should I tell it again? Let me see, no one's here, right? Oh, my Lord. Oh, someone is there. Someone was there or is there. Not hearing you. Oh, thank you. I finally realized I wasn't being heard. Thank you so much. Okay. Should I tell the story again? It was funny, but I don't know if it's that funny worth repeating. I can't believe I did. Well, actually, I can. Okay, guys. I'm going to tell the story again just to get back in the mood. Hi, you guys. It's me, Just Kaya. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? All right. It's me, Just Kaya, Real Talk Daily. Yes, yes, yes. I set up what I was saying before while I was muted. That was just a practice run. So what I was saying is, for one, it's been a long time. I was so excited about coming on live streaming and, you know, getting my groove on. And I was explaining why I had kind of been away for a while. Well, I don't even know if that was really why. Maybe so. I don't know. It was. Okay, so what had happened was, okay, I'm going to tell the story. So I had been up on Anton's Daniel show channel platform, and then I went up on Shannon Rao's platform, and you know, just kind of getting a feel for things and voicing my little, you know, opinion about things. I think I have some things to share. So I think it was last Wednesday or last Friday, I was up on Anton's show panel and Anton.com channel, that is. And I had just looked over at the comments, and this one guy in the comments was like, Jess, why you got that old ugly filter on? Take that filter off. I'm like, filter? You know, I'm kind of new to all this language and stuff. But I know what a filter is. It's what makes you look real pretty. I was thinking, no. Because he called it an ugly filter. So anyway, so I'm like, you know, because someone else was talking, so I went on there and like, I ain't got no filter on. What filter you talking about? So then someone else had said, yeah, it doesn't look right. Take the filter off. And I'm like, I don't know what they talking about. So I went on and finished the show. And I started thinking about my lens. Because like a day or two before that, I was doing something with my camera. I keep switching up trying to figure out where to put it, and I dropped my camera. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I had just bought this camera like a month and a half before, and then I was trying to, and the lens wouldn't extract. Wait, it wouldn't go out or in. It wouldn't retract. It wouldn't, is that extract? Anyway, so I was like, oh my Lord, what's wrong with it? And it was all loose. And I was like, Lord, I can't afford another lens. What is going on? Oh my God. And I started praying for the lens. I was praying hard for the lens. And I said, I'm putting it in the Lord's hand. I said, Lord, you know I can't afford another lens. You know, I'm really trying to get into this. I'm kind of on my groove and blah, 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 blah in my prayer, right? So my son came home and I told my son and he just looked at me. He's like, well, I don't know. I said, well, son, let's pray together. He's like, you crazy, bye. He went to his room. So I said, son, I'm just going to sit it down for a little bit. Maybe it'll come back together. He said, sure, Ma. Yeah. So I let it sit down. I ended up watching a movie with my daughter. And then after the movie was over, I was just thinking about, like, gosh, I'm going to need a lens. Where am I going to get a lens? And I start praying again. So I went over and I was like, oh, because it felt like it was loose. And I felt like if I can get something to click, it would retract and work, you know? So as I'm doing this and I'm praying, I'm not a cry. You know, I have all faith in everything. I really, really do. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, what one's going to do? I said, Lord, what we's going to do? What we's going to do, Lord? And you ain't going to believe it. I dropped the lens again. Yes, I did. I dropped it again. Now I want to cry. I want to cry. But I can't cry because I truly believe everything happened for a reason. The Lord's going to work it out for the good. I really believe that, 100%. So I'm like, oh, Lord. I'm like, what does this mean? What's going on? And then I'm you know, and I'm like, oh, but I believe in you, Lord. And I'm fumbling with the camera and I'm trying to get the lens on there. And it went click, click, and it went in and it retract. I was like, God is good. God is good all the time. All the time, God is good. I was like, amen, amen. And I ran to my son's room. I was like, Jeremiah, it works. And then he said, oh, what did you do? I said, I dropped it again. He just shook his head. And then so I came back in and I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, let me make sure it works. So I hooked it up. All right, you guys. I know sometimes you see me put on my glasses and I can't see that well. I've never been, had great vision. It's even worse. So I hooked the camera up and tested it and did a test recording. I'm like, amen, Lord, it's working. I kind of knew it wasn't as good, but I was like, it's still working good, right? So when the guy said on the Anton show, what filter, I started thinking, maybe it doesn't look as good as I think it does, you know, because I don't go back really and watch the show. Well, no, actually I was going back, looking a little bit, making sure no boogers in my nose, making sure nothing on my teeth. It looked fine to me until he said that. So at that moment when we got done, I went and started looking at previous shows before I dropped the list. And after shows, I was like, oh, I said, there's a big difference. In the previous shows, I look human. In the new shows, after I dropped the lens, I look like a ghost. I was like, wow, I didn't even notice the difference until this gentleman said this. And the thing, and he was clowning me too. So I say all of that to say this. I got a new lens. Ain't God good? God is good. So I'm looking cute now, right? This is where I was ending off when I finally realized that. I don't know when I finally realized that the sound was going. So I hope you guys like my new lens. I hope that I'm coming through clearly, but I have a fun, interesting, in my opinion, live show coming up. Okay, so before I got the new lens, and you guys are gonna see the difference, because I was on Antons.com show again. I love Anton. I agree with I don't think it might have, I don't know if I ever disagree with, I'm sure it has been, but I enjoy his show. I enjoy what he's doing. And so what I'm going to do today is, you guys, I don't know if you read the description, but I got something to talk about. And since this is my platform, I can't get dismissed. That's the word that I'm using. Okay, you guys, so let me get a little more comfortable. I got shorts on and my legs are sticking to my fake plastic chair. Wait, you can't see it. There it is, my fake plastic chair. I think, well, I'm sure it's not real. I only spent a couple $100 on. Okay, but anyway, so let's sit back, let's get comfortable, and let's have fun. Let's have a fun conversation and hang out and, yeah, get my opinion. I think I'm kind of funny too, so maybe I'll help you or make you laugh here and there. But so I was on Anton's show, and originally the show was about, ooh, excuse me, I'm reading now. Oh, I guess I can, oh, wait. I learned, wait, okay, you guys, bear with me. And this is a new way. Did that work? Let's see. Let me see. Let's check it out. Oh, okay, let's see. It is a long delay, you guys. I hope it's some of you guys out there with me. Is anybody? Okay, there it is. Oh, amen. Okay. Yeah, that's worked out good. Okay, so I'm not up yet, but I cammed up. This is on Anton's show. I think it's late night talk or something like that we call it, or he calls it. So the original, I need my glasses so I can see down here. So the original topic of the show was women can be your biggest asset. And then it says, if you know how to handle her correctly. If you know how to handle her correctly. Okay, so at this point, I'm not up there. I had to leave. I had to go pick up my daughter. So I was listening in, as I was driving on my phone. And then the conversation got on women from the streets, or are women from the streets, or something like that. So I'm going to start it from the point, the point where the conversation goes that way, and then after so long I come up and then start giving my viewpoints, and then towards the end I ever so politely got dismissed from another lady on the panel. And so I exited, stage left, and yeah, the show ended shortly after I left. It got boring. That's just my pettiness. I don't know, whatever. It was, I watched it. I didn't, yeah, it was boring afterwards. And you'll see for yourself if you hang around. So that's just my opinion. It got off topic completely. And I was really going somewhere in but neither here nor there now. Okay. Let's start watching. So I'm not sure, and I haven't watched it, but I haven't rewatched it, I guess I should say. And I'm going to watch it with you. And the main purpose of this is because I didn't get all my viewpoints out. And when I got dismissed, I was informed that I'm out of touch, basically. I'm 53 years old. I ain't out of touch. I might not have the same experiences as you or other people, but I do have something to offer. I promise you. I have a lot to offer, actually. Right now, I'm living my purpose in all of this. I'm living my purpose because I am such an open book, and I'm here to share my life my life experiences to the main reason is to inspire, encourage, and challenge women. And then in lieu of doing that, there's a man or two that checks in and, he can get my perspective. They don't believe me half the time, which is okay. It's up to them. And then just get my perspective and see, a different woman's perspective. And thank God that we're not all alike, that we're not all like robots of each other. Ridiculous. They all say the same thing, and I'm talking about these men's that I have seen. They're not all, but on the platform. You guys know I can ramble on. Let's start the video, and as it's going along, I will, is it intercede? I will interject my viewpoints, as I so lovely like to do, because I'm finding out, or I kind of been finding out maybe the last half of my adult life, that I am a very different type of person. I just genuinely try not to have any preconceived ideas or preconceived opinions of people just because of whatever. If I don't know them, I want to hear your viewpoint. I want to hear what you got to say, and I want to get to know you. When I ask my questions, it's not because of any preconceived ideas or that I'm trying to, I gotcha. No. It really is, I'm asking these questions to truly get your opinion and get to know whoever it is a little bit better for that moment. I ain't here to waste my time and just bullshit people. That's never been me, but to a certain degree, I think that that's what's coming across. But amen, neither here nor there. Because I got my own platform now. I got my own YouTube channel. So you can come over here. Guess who gets to talk? And she likes to talk. Okay, I'm done. Let's go. I'm trying to see. Okay. No. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so no one's here. That's fine. Hopefully they'll get it on the rebound. Okay, so I'm going to start it now, you guys. And yeah, let's have a little fun. It's like 2 hours, I think, 2.5 hours or so. So I'll be up here for a while having a little bit of fun with you guys. Hopefully someone will come in and out. But let's get started.
We were talking about Ms. Patterson about women being, I guess, I don't know, being unruly and out of order, stuff like that. So would you say that the man needs to provide the space for the woman to be able to be in her femininity, a divine femininity? And that's him, being financially stable. That's him maybe working on his mental, make sure he's dealt with his past traumas. And that's him, I guess, maybe being physically fit and just making her feel, I guess, safe. And not just safe physically, but safe up here too, to know that she's able to, conversate or talk to him about things that may be bothering her or that may not sit well with her.
Let me show you all my life. I don't know why people keep asking me. It's the same question.
Yeah.
But no, to answer your
Tell them, ask you your height after you stand on your money.
There's no way that a woman can truly operate. I don't care if she's doing a good job. I don't care about none of that. There's no way that a woman can truly operate in her femininity if she's gotta go and grind the same way that you have.
There's no way. There's no way.
Like how can she? Listen, when Rita wake up in the morning, she look outside and she see water. She inherently wants to have sex because she's looking at water. Real talk.
I didn't even
She
hear
feel
this part
when
before.
Rita wakes up, she be like,
Oh,
"Yo,
excuse me.
you need tea this morning? Listen, I know you said that you didn't want to eat before, but I made breakfast just in case, whatever, so on and so forth." Like that's just the way that Rita is. Like she's inherently a certain type of woman because I put her in a space. Here, let me go ahead and just say that. Okay, so it says.
That makes sense because
All right, so this is my license.
Here
I
he
have
goes.
a
Let's
weapon that
see.
it says that.
That's my height right there.
5'7". Okay, Anton's a shorty.
I'm 5'7".
I'm 5'1".
Oh man.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to say
I
this.
guess
But it does.
That makes sense, I guess.
But you know, guys, that doesn't matter because we write our height on there. They don't measure us. But neither here nor there. I don't know why there. It sounds like jealousy that they want to know his height. He admits that he's short, right? So what?
Because I kind of learned that, you have to have a specific type of personality to go out and be non-agreeable, to be, I guess, somewhat assertive and dominant in order to, I guess, change the level as far as you working. So if she's going out there to work and to bring in bacon, then it's kind of, I guess, her tending or being something she really doesn't want to be. Does that make sense?
Can
So when
I
I
say
say that
something
one
real
time,
quick? Oh, go ahead.
look at Kanice getting all of the smoke.
Say that one more time. You got to cutting in and out. And maybe
No, what was you saying? Say that one more time.
Just trying
So
to
I
figure
was
this
saying
out,
that,
guys.
I've learned that to go out into work, right, to be like to compete, to go against other people in your field, you have to have a type personality. That's what I've kind of learned here lately, which is usually people who are non-agreeable. They're more willing to negotiate their wages and things of that nature. They're more willing to, I guess, work longer hours and more dangerous jobs, which I've kind of learned that there normally are men. And if she's going out and doing those things, is that really her? Is that her not really being herself? I guess that's what I'm asking, if that make any sense.
Well,
If a woman got to come out here and compete with me for resources, there's no way she can truly be herself.
Okay, that's what I was getting at. Okay, that makes sense.
That don't mean that women aren't feminine or they can't find their femininity or whatever like that. But how can a woman listen if she gotta participate in masculine activities? There's no way that she can truly live in her femininity. Because then you're asking her to cut it on and cut it off when she.
You know, guys, that is so true. I just want to interject here. As you guys know, well, I assume, ER trauma nurse for, a nurse for 20 years. But I was in the ER department, and even as a nurse, I am that person that doesn't really, I'm not aggressive and go after things. But it's been many of times that I should have been offered like a management position or supervisor of our floor or something. I didn't gun-ho go after it, but my skills, spoke very highly for me. And I noticed some people that I even trained and stuff were getting these positions, but they were more aggressive type personality and really stood out more so, like assertive and stuff. So, and that is true. You are who you are because and I knew that's what it take, but that wasn't me. It wasn't me to turn that on and be aggressive or assertive or whatever you want to call it, to display that there. It just wasn't in me to do that. Even when I got home, and as a lot of you guys know, that my ex-husband wasn't working and I was the only one working, I still was in that, take care of my family, get some dinner, do what needs to be done. That's just naturally in me. So what Anton is saying, I 100% agree with that. And I just wanted to share that in there. Okay, let's continue on. Once I figure, okay, yeah, I gotta go here. Be patient with me. I'm gonna look, why did I go into baby talk? Not the time or place.
Get home.
And one thing I
No
want
way that
to, I
the
mean,
woman gonna be as submissive
Is
as my
that
woman.
possible? Is that
It's
possible?
possible.
I don't know. I don't know if me and
I mean,
but Miss Denise, is that possible?
well, go ahead, Kenise.
No, it's not possible.
What'd I do? Oh,
That's
sorry,
what I'm saying. Is
guys.
it possible? Because I heard
Okay, let me
I heard
stop.
our women say they can turn it on and off, but I don't know if that was true or not.
No,
But I
you
just wanted
cannot.
to ask.
Right now,
one
my
thing,
husband was at his weekly Bitcoin meetup. I have grilled chicken ready for him when he gets home. It's 12 o'clock here in Michigan, and I don't care. I know what he's doing. I know where he's at. I've lounged around all day. I did a couple of things, laundry, other things. I do a load a day, really. And
but I do want to say, I heard Anton say this right here. He said, you can turn a lion into a cheetah. What they are is what they are. And so I sound like you
I
trying to
think you
take
could
somebody and
change
make them
though.
something they're not. If they're not feminine, I, I don't think they're going to just become feminine. Like the
but
one
every
thing,
woman is born being feminine.
Yes,
I
I
think it's
think
some
so
degrees.
too.
I think it's some degrees to it because I remember in my last relationship, like my girlfriend, she had some masculine or maybe like more feminist traits, but within like a couple months of us dating, and then more over the long term of like a year, year and a half, 2 years. And she even said it herself. Like, you know, after I got with you, I was able to like enjoy my femininity more and like be more of like a girl's girl or like
Are
be
they
more
still
of a lady
together, I wonder?
and experience that side because I guess before that she was more having to grind and having to be in a certain mode. So having that masculine energy around her, it did let her increase it to some degree. But I do agree that it's within a certain extent of that person's natural inclination of how far it can go either way.
and I think it's a
Listen,
I
line.
want to speak
let me
to.
say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Like Priscilla's saying, we have resources without competing. We can have resources without competing with the man. Abundance mindset. There's enough for everyone. Okay, cool. You know what the biggest problem that we have on the Lapeef network? The biggest problem that we usually have with the Lapeef network is that women can't handle the criticism in the same way that men can.
Okay.
Real talk. Listen, when women listen, people are vicious. They're going to not like you. They're gonna love you. All of that other type of stuff. It takes a certain type of person. Do you know that most people will not even say? Most people won't even say their real name when they get on the internet.
I don't get
Most
that.
people, especially as a
Oh, maybe
content
because
creator.
they, yeah.
And so, the biggest thing is that the biggest thing is that it's hard for them to deal with the things that men usually deal with, even from a content creation perspective. We're not even talking about the grind. We're not even talking about the hustle. We're not talking about the fact that I'm trying to beat you in every single way in real life when we're competing and we're going out and we kind of grind for resources and all of that. So yeah, you absolutely can thrive with an abundance mindset. But the difference is that are you truly living in your femininity all the way when you come home? It's a difference.
It is. But
I believe it's a masculinity line. If a woman crosses it, I don't think she can come back. Like if it's a woman out there trying to fight you, and she's trying to like do a whole bunch of aggressive man type thing,
yeah.
you can. I don't think you can come back. I think yes, a woman can draw back, but once you cross a certain level of line, I don't think you can make it back.
I got a question for everybody else, real quick, if y'all don't mind. So, do y'all agree with Anton when it comes to him saying that if you're out here, now I guess sleeping with women, that you're complicit or helping them and making them for the streets?
Yes.
It make
Okay, you guys. So, excuse me. This is really. So the rest of the show is going to stay on this topic about women being for the streets or not, and this is what I really wanted to touch on, and talk about. And show me getting dismissed. Out of touch, I guess, which I don't believe it, but everyone can have their own opinion. This is a beautiful world, a beautiful country where we're free. Okay, I'm not going to get silly. Okay, so let's continue. So this is where the conversation started about women being for the streets or not.
Makes sense to me. It makes sense to me, and I 100% agree with it. I just want to do everybody else agree with it.
Nah,
I would say, I know you weren't gonna agree with it, because I saw that. I'm just saying, I saw the episode with you, but it makes sense, man. Because before you say, let me finish. It makes sense if a chick has been with, let's say she's been with 4 guys and they all did her dirty, right?
Here we go.
And I believe it's going to skew her mindset towards men a little bit and make her a little bit jaded towards them, right? Let's say I'm the guy that actually wants to get to know her, that actually wants to see what she's about and marry her, but she's at her wit's end with men, right? Let's say she's had it. She said, one more guy do me wrong, I'm done. I'm either gonna be gay, excuse my language, or I'm gonna do men how they do me. And she's been through 4 guys, right? I'm the 6th guy, and then she hits that 5th guy, and that 5th guy does her dirty. So now I'm the guy that actually wants to get to know her and see what she's about, marry her, but she's done had enough. And so when she gets to me, it's like it's done. She end up ruining me, and now she doesn't have the husband that she wanted to have. So it made sense to me. That's how I looked at it. So when I heard that, right, I took the step of okay, I'm no longer having any more sex. I'm done. And the next person that I sleep with will be my wife, the person that I marry, right? So I've
I
done
want to
that.
say this because I'm on the other side of it. Check this out. The first dude in your example, he might have made her for the streets, but number 3 and 4, she was already for the streets. Like
But they made it worse though. They made it. That's like you piling, excuse my language, shit on top of shit on.
Okay, you guys, so I kind of want to come in here just a little bit because I hear what Emmanuel is saying about, after maybe the first or second time, the third, fourth, and so on, she's for the streets. Okay, it could be, but it also could be that, you go through life, you learn. We need to interject, how old is this person? But yeah, they talk about me being naive all the time. Okay, it's good and dandy, I did pretty well for myself, I think. But I still think, and we're going to get more into it, that men are not taking the accountability that I believe that they need to take. And when I say that, I'm mainly talking about men that I believe, I don't think that part played yet, about men basically saying whatever they need to say to get the panties, lying and doing all that, that's where I really get the issue, because how can we call her for the streets if, and I'm saying if she got tricked into a, yeah, babe.
Sorry.
What's up, babe? Okay. Love you. So that's my thing. Like, we need to, I believe men need to hold some accountability as well. But let's continue on, because this is going to come up a couple more times. So I just wanted to put that in there. And then that's where, when you guys see I come up, because at this point I'm out picking up my daughter. I was there earlier and then I left. And then when I came back, this was the topic. Okay, so let's get back to the story of a lovely lady. Okay.
Nah,
Like
listen,
that's bad.
When you already for the streets, no other man can't make you for the streets. You already for the streets. So if you number 4 and number 5, you can't say, oh, he made her for the streets. She was already for the streets. Yes, if a man takes a woman innocent and she have never been with somebody else, he's contributing to the problem. But she already for the streets. I feel she fair game.
That,
Wait.
that
So
don't
let me
make no
ask,
sense.
hold on, y'all. Let me ask a question.
Okay.
So, do you think that it's possible for a woman to be for the streets without her ever interacting with a man?
Yes.
Nah. But yeah,
Yes.
that's complicated.
Yeah, of
If
course.
she shows certain characteristics that are
But when
not
you say that,
of
right?
certain quality, then like
You
if you're
had,
around certain
like
women,
Okay, yeah. So before they say, I'll say yes. I believe a woman can be for the streets even without having sex yet. The reason why I say yes is because if it's an example she's seen, for one, if she's seen her mama out there, you know, getting her money, doing what she got to do, or other people doing it, you know, it could be something like she said, shoot, I can do that, you know, give me a little change. And yeah, and then if she likes it and it becomes her, and you know she want that easy fast money, maybe, yeah. And then even without the money, I believe women could be, because they're saying the woman of the streets is a lady or a woman or a girl who have had multiple multiple sexual partners. I guess it doesn't have to necessarily be men, but multiple sexual partners. So say there isn't any money involved. Maybe she just like having sex. Maybe she just doesn't know better that this is not the way to go to get your boyfriend or whatever it is. And so yes, I believe that you can be a woman for the streets and still be a virgin, and no man manipulated to get the panties. It's called life. I know some people don't agree with me when I say things like that, but it is. It's life experiences. We make choices, and from the outcome of those choices, hopefully, you learn, you get better. You might knock your head a couple of more times, but I would hope it wouldn't be too many more times. But that's how you grow. That's how you learn. That's how you gain wisdom. You have to experience life. Okay, let's continue on.
it's gonna be like that.
Like what? Give them to me.
All right, let's see. I'm trying to think on my head right now, but
So when you had Cheeky on here, right? And now he was talking about, you know, he's 25 and he's a virgin, right? And when you guys were having that conversation, I immediately went to, you know, like, I wish I never had sex. And the reason I thought of it that way because he talked about ego, right? He talked about if you were if you've had sex and let's say you had 3 girls or she had 3 dudes and she did her thing, you know, made them tap out. You know what I'm saying? But then when she gets to the next person, they're like, yo, that ain't it, fam. Like, you need a little more work. Now his ego, I can't speak for other men, but my ego, it's gonna be a little hurt. Now I'm able to listen and understand, but I'm looking at if you've never had sex, you have nothing to compare it to. That's how I'm looking at it. I feel like if
So
you've
the-
had
so
sex
the
with multiple
question-
people, whether you're a man or woman,
The question is still the same. Is it possible for a girl to be, you know, on the streets or however it is that we want to frame it, if she's never actually had an experience with a man?
I don't think so because
I gotta
at
think
that
about
point it would be only her perception.
it's leaving me stuck.
In reality, she's not for the streets if she's not really being promiscuous or
Okay, real quick. And then Anton reworded it. I mean, not reworded. He asked the same question again. So here, then, since he asked it again, and I think they were kind of going the same way I was going, or if there wasn't. So another way that a woman could be for the street, if she dresses provocative, if she, you know, put everything on display as well, I believe she would get the reputation of being for the streets, even though she hasn't been with, had a sexual partner yet, but because of her display, she would get that label of being for the streets. So since he asked the same question again, I don't think he was, you know, I think he was just jogging the mind. Okay, let's go back.
interact.
what about what you being influenced by though?
She basically just a wannabe almost.
What about
What
you
makes
being
a
a
woman for
pussy?
the streets?
What about
What makes a woman for the streets?
Ooh, okay, let's see. What makes a woman for the streets?
Her being in the streets.
I would say going out a lot, I guess. Being in the clubs a lot.
Wow, that's
If a
all?
woman goes out, and she
Loud,
gets-
obnoxious.
wait. So let's break it down. Let's break it
Yeah,
down. because
let's
we
do
use
that.
this a lot. So let's talk about it. If she goes out and she has fun and she dances and she parties, but she never ever goes home with a guy, she's still for the streets.
No.
Nah,
Not under that definition.
So what make a woman for the streets? I'm curious.
I think it is just exclusive to like just. I think in that example, then it would have to be right. Like a woman that hasn't even had sex yet, I don't think she can even be for the streets. Honestly, that would be my opinion. Actually, yeah.
So
I
then
think-
if
Can
that
that be? Can it?
do everybody agree with that? Because I want to make sure that we all on the
That's
same
now,
page.
listen, he said this
I'm-
right
I'm
there.
not sure.
I don't know.
That's
I
the
don't know. It's like, it's like if she's not going home with a man, right? But she's participating in drinking. I don't know if she's being loud and obnoxious.
Thinking it for the streets though, like
It can
I'm,
be.
not, I'm talking about people who are loud and obnoxious, like they're drinking in excess.
What
Like
makes
they're
a woman
drinking to the point to where I can answer that question. Maybe
Yeah, so
maybe Shameen.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I was gonna
Answer?
say this is a deep question because there's women who don't necessarily sleep with men but still finesse men. So there's
Yeah.
women who
True.
Okay, that's why I was gonna go with it. Go ahead.
general doesn't deal with men? If a woman does not deal with men, and I say the same thing.
doesn't deal with men at all. No,
If
she
a
can't.
woman is not dealing with men,
She can't be for the
She
streets.
still
She
be for
doesn't
the streets.
deal with men in any way whatsoever. She could be maybe perceived to be for the streets, but
not perceived.
in reality,
I'm
No.
What is your
perceived.
philosophy on it,
I'm
Anton?
perceived to be a certain type of way, but that doesn't make it true.
True.
If
Exactly.
a woman does not have any dealings with men, she has no sexual experiences with men, she not using them, anything like that, is she still for the streets? I'm just curious.
No, no.
I think she could be, depending on her body
So
being
you're telling me-
displayed.
Wait. So you're telling me that as a part of the criteria that you can qualify a woman as for the streets, you're telling me that she has to have some experiences with men in some way,
Yeah.
shape, or form.
yes.
Yeah.
No. I don't agree with that now because it
I
makes
don't
me think.
you need to make up your mind. What are we talking about?
But because then you have to be firm on like what you think.
Well, I'm
the
thinking
definition
about
of
the
what makes
people
a
you're
woman.
around though, because you
What
always
does
talk
that
about your
mean?
network, right?
Okay.
I know girls that are gonna be around a bunch of
Hold on,
guys, but
wait.
they're not thoughts themselves.
What makes you for the streets? I'm curious.
Mm.
Because you talking about the people you see around and all this. I'm trying to understand what makes you for the streets then.
So I've been watching for a little while now, and you talk about your network, right? About meeting people in your network. So I've always heard that you want to learn about somebody, look at the people they hang around with. Look at who they hang out with, who they have fun
Oh,
with,
that's
their
a
children.
good
Is it people that
response.
are maybe necessarily not good for them, who are, I think somebody said earlier, single people want to keep you single. So if you got single friends or they try to
So
keep
if
you
I
single.
wait.
You're on the right path.
If I have friends that I grew up with and they're thugs, but I've never actually committed a crime, am I a thug?
I would say you're not, but
I
you'll be
know some
perceived
squares that
as.
grew up in the hood that never committed a crime in their life. They never
Anton
leaned
keeps
on,
switching
so
it
they
on
took
them.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wouldn't say you are, but I would say you'd be
when it's time to
perceived
go put in
as.
that work, they going home.
Word.
Or they still a thug? I'm wondering.
No, I mean I would say no, but I would think society would probably perceive you as a thug.
Nah, we
But
perceive
it don't matter though what
about
society.
what the reality is.
The reality is
So in
different.
that same instance, in that same vein, can we then say that women are for the streets just based off of anything outside of their interactions with a man?
Interaction
That was a
doesn't
good
have to be
example
sexual.
Of, like that made a really good point. But to keep Javoris's point going, if that woman is still around other women that validate her in a way that leads her to believe that even if she's not doing those things, that that's the way to go, then it still seems like in practice, whatever it is that she brings into a relationship is still going to be based on that woman's advice. on those other
But
women's
she's
advice.
still
So
for
it's
the
like even if she's a
Nah.
I'm trying my best.
You're not doing nothing.
Stacey, not for the streets, but there's a feeling in my heart that when it comes to that I can't judge and say. Maybe it's for a woman to judge if she's for the streets or not. Maybe it's
I
just
think
not
it's
my
because
I'm
cup
gonna
of
use
man.
Anton.
I got a
Right,
feeling
you
it's
want
Anton
to say
for
women
it,
for
and
the streets. How can a woman
I'm
judge
open
if
to
the
the
men are the ones
possibility
that
of
say
being
that
wrong.
women are for the streets?
Exactly.
We determine pretty much if we think she for the
Yep.
streets or not her.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm
Women
gonna use
can
Anton
determine
for
she's
it.
for us.
Just
I
say
don't
I'm
think you
open to
determine
the
she's for the
possibility
streets.
of being wrong. But I don't know.
What makes a woman for the streets? I'm still asking the same question. Nobody has given me
I use
a
this with a lot of
I'll
men.
answer.
You got
I'm
like,
using your words, and I'm gonna say I'm open to the possibility of being wrong. I don't know. So if
Oh,
somebody
I
can
think it
teach
should just be
me,
she just
Let me
out here
use
for
another.
life.
Let me
I'm
use
all
another
ears.
example.
See, when
Let
you
me
get
use
men
another
to
example to
talking,
illustrate your point, right? My wife was raised in a single mother home. Mother was never married. She was around different people, and she was raised in an environment that wasn't conducive for a young girl. She grew up around her friends. Her friends always having sex, everything like that. My wife never had sex. She never.
So
She
is choice
tried to
in there?
the lingo. She never did anything
Body
with a guy.
count.
She never even dated a guy. She didn't even have sex as a result of even going to prom or anything like that. But everybody says that Rita is a good girl. Why wouldn't we label her as for the streets?
So is that a choice, right? Is it your participation in I guess stuff we would consider for the streets? I mean, you're having sex
Bad
with
behavior.
random guys,
look at
I'll take
Anton.
that.
maybe drinking in excess
Let me
and things
bring
of
it
that
back.
nature.
So let me bring it back. Is a woman's participation with men the definitive thing in which we determine whether or not she's for the streets or not?
I'll say I was wrong, and that it is her participation with men. I'll say I was wrong.
Interesting. So now
Man,
it begs
man,
the
Emmanuel got to get in
It
here.
begs the question now, though. Are we complicit in creating the thing that we hate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's other reasons to make women for the streets.
Well, here's the thing, though.
It ain't solely on the man. Let me not say that. I think she has to have better discernment in picking. Ultimately, if you're not being upfront with her as a man about what your intentions are, I think you're contributing to her being for the streets.
Okay.
You're doing a little Lowry's in there. You finishing the job.
So it's a lot of things that make people for the streets outside of them having sex with a man. Okay, so
Oh, here come Emmanuel.
Sex is a part of it.
I know, but listen, just hear me out. Let me rap just a little second. All right, check this out.
Aaron, DM me. Are you on Instagram, Aaron?
Yeah.
Anton about to dip out.
All right, so there's a couple of things that I believe that make women for the streets outside of sex. So first of all, if she out there doing something else, if she pulling the, hey, I'm just gonna give the guy head, but I ain't gonna sleep with him, she can be for the streets. If she like, hey, I'm messing around with women because I don't like men, she can be for the streets. It also, I personally believe anything that she's doing that's outside of her being able to, yes, if she's like a hermit and not doing anything, she's not for the streets, but women can also contribute to women being for the streets if they out there living that lifestyle.
I would think that goes without saying though, but the point that I guess we were kind of talking about is, are you a part of that? Are you contributing to that by having sex with her, knowing that you don't want to marry her, knowing that you don't want to be in a relationship with her? Are you contributing to her being for the street?
Well, here's the thing.
So it goes back to what I was saying earlier when I was talking about how if a woman gets with a man and he's doing her dirty and she keeps getting done dirty by men, she does have to have better discernment, but also those men are skewing her vision towards me. Some people are not able to be like, okay, just because he did me wrong, that don't mean the next guy's gonna do me wrong. Some people get to the point to where if they've been done wrong multiple times, it kind of says something to the point of, okay, you know what? There's a wall up for any man, or if it's a man, there may be a wall up for any woman.
What I don't want you to understand is the only person that can make that person for the street is that person. She have to make that decision that she gonna be for the streets and she gonna be sleeping with this dude. So
there are people out here who can manipulate. There's manipulation. Some people are
Oh
really good at
She
manipulating
was
other
foolish
people.
enough. She was
no,
foolish enough to fall for it. Though. Like,
but
Come on.
listen.
Wow.
But if you don't have a father in the home, right?
Hold on, now y'all
This goes
getting
back to when
excuses.
people were
Let
talking
me
about.
finish.
This goes back when people were talking about if your father is not in the home and you're not being taught the right steps. And some people are gullible. Some people, the wool is easily
No,
pulled over their
I
eyes.
agree
They
with
don't have
him
the right
totally.
tools, or they weren't given the right tools in order to make better decisions.
Right.
maybe our mama felt her. Listen, this is what I'm telling you right now. Listen, this is the truth. A woman cannot. I love Anton example because she cannot be for the streets unless she make the decision that she want to be out here sleeping with these men. Like he said, she haven't messed around with no men, so she had ultimate authority not to be for the streets. If she decided she's gonna go out here and start sleeping with all these men, in reality, she made herself for the streets. We can point the finger. It's funny. She's the common denominator in the whole situation. And so the first guy made it for the street. The second guy made it for the street. Third guy, who's the same person in all these situations? We can't keep blaming
Exactly.
this little man, and she keep going out there sleeping with multiple people. That's crazy. I know we got a young lady.
I don't see it like that because what are you like if you're not being upfront with her, right? If you're not telling her
Right.
exactly what your intentions are, what is that called then?
But that can only work with so many times. That can only work
I
with so
was-
many times. So like,
I
let's
mean,
pretend.
if you look at the world now, it's working a lot, right? Look at
What I'm trying to say-
motherhood.
What I'm trying to say is, if it works one time and she made a mistake, okay, then you can count up to her making a mistake. But if she keeps making that same mistake and she has no accountability, she didn't learn from her actions, then she got to be for the street because now she's doing it on purpose. She's not learning from her mistakes. So I'll give a woman one time she might have made a mistake, but if you don't learn from it and you keep doing it over and over, then you got to chalk it up to this is what you're doing now.
That makes me.
Okay, so I do want to say something here. Okay, and I think I come up soon after this. So she said, Candid Ann said that, you know, you give her one time, maybe two, and she keeps making the same mistake, that she is for the streets. So, okay, we can have two scenarios here. Is it Jarvis? I think his name is Jarvis. It's amazing that he was more so talking, kind of giving a good perspective maybe for the woman, but Candid Ann, she's like, no, she ain't giving the woman no grace. So here, my opinion is I am going to give the woman some grace. And believe me, I will say this first. I know there are women for the streets, okay? Just flat out, they just want to go and screw whoever, and that's their choice, okay? But there are women that men lie to get the punani, okay? And then once they get it, they gone. Okay, yeah, that's the first time. And she's like, well, wow, he told me he liked me, you know, and whatever. And then the next guy, you know, maybe she make it wait a day longer. I don't know, maybe she doesn't. But that gentleman also comes up to her and she's believing that, you know, he's attracted to her, he wants to be with her, you know, he might not be talking boyfriend talk, but he's still saying whatever he's saying to get it, you know, because I'm assuming that she's not going up to him like, you know, can I have some of that D, you know. So, okay, 2, 3 times, let's go 4. I give a person grace because you don't know what it takes for that person to get it. You know, just because that young lady did not get bitter towards men after the 5th time, and she's still believing whatever he is saying, and he is saying or not, and she makes another mistake, okay, you know? My point is what I believe truly, if we're going to use that term, she's for the streets, it can't be no manipulation from the guy. It can't be no lying to get the panties. He has to be coming up to her, be like, you know, I just want, do you just want to voom? And if they both say yes, and she continues to do that, she's for the streets. But if he's coming up to her, oh, you're so cute. look at your hair. Ooh, look at that booty. Ooh, yeah, you out here, girl. What's your number? I sure want to take you out sometime. And she thinking like, oh, he think I'm cute. And then he's like, I'm gonna come pick you up. Anybody? He knock, knock, knock. Hi, Jerome. She lets him in. And he's like, oh, can I get a little cup of water? You got something to drink? Is your mama home? Oh, no one's here. Girl, let me see your room. What's your room like? What's your favorite color? They go upstairs, go to the room, whatever. She's like, yeah, that's where I sleep, and this is this. He's like, ooh, this a soft bed. Ooh, come sit right here next to me. Okay. He's like, ooh, you sure smell good. I don't know why I went off on this tangent. I just see it all in my head. And she go, thank you. Thank you. Then he started kissing her here, kissing her. And then as he's kissing her, he's leaning her back on the bed. Okay, anyway, y'all get the point, right? So she has sex with him. And she's like, oh, because he said all the right stuff. And then when they get done, he always, oh, man, that's my mom's calling me. I forgot I got to take her to church. I got to take her to church. I'll be back. She never, she sees him, but they don't have a conversation, okay? So, just having a little fun. Just a little descriptive thing. But that's what, back in your younger days. So, back to my point. If there's no deception, meaning he comes and say, I want to F, and she said, that's all I want to do is F, and it has to be consistently that way. They both have that same understanding. She for the streets. Amen. And she should be proud of it. She makes that decision. Okay. Tangents over. Let's go back and get back into, I think Miss Candid is speaking.
Think of a saying. They look to think of a saying, fool me once, shame on you.
There you go.
Fool me
There
twice,
you go. Yes.
shame on me. So that makes it,
Put the blame on me.
But what is it for the man though?
Y'all gotta remember, we're not calling women for the streets who slept with one person. She's a serious offender. She keep doing it over and over and over. That's what make her up for the street. So I gotta get out this point and say,
So is everybody saying that even though it's we would place the majority of the blame on her, right? So everybody saying in agreement that if the man is not being upfront with her with his attention, that doesn't contribute. I'm asking a question because I'm legit trying to learn. I'm trying to glean any information that I can get from you guys. So if anybody can teach me something, I'm more than welcome open to it. So I'm asking.
This is what I'm saying.
Go ahead, Shane. My bad, bro.
Let me chime in. Let me just make one statement. I know people who go to women and they're transparent. They say, man, I don't want a relationship. I'm just looking for a good time, not for a long time. And if a man is being transparent and she decides to go down that avenue with her, you can't say that man made her for the streets.
That's a minority, bro. That's a minority, bro. Majority of men are not going to female and being like, yo, look, I ain't really trying to date you. I'm just trying to smash. You know what I'm saying? We can kick it out there. Most men are not doing that, bro.
Thank you, Jarvis. They're not. They're not.
They're just kind of insinuating it,
Yeah, let's be real.
They're leaving what they say open to interpretation either way. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
It's still deceitful.
I'm just saying, if a dude come up to you in the club, if a dude come up to you and say, hey, little mama, we trying to get out here and you trying to hit up the hotel, you
need to
know
run.
Well, yes. Oh, here I come now. I'm about to get chewed out, guys.
But listen, he's not saying I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna be in a relationship with you. He's being straight up. Hey, we in the club. We feeling good. We got some drinks.
Yeah, that's different.
And then she goes to the house. You like, oh, he, he lied. No, he didn't. She knew what his intentions were when he came up in the club. Because if she went about the street streets, that
So
lifestyle,
some
she
people,
wouldn't have went
that
home with him.
makes
She
sense.
might
Some
would have gave
people,
her number up. She would have gave him her number. But if you go home with him, you met him in the club, you know him from a couple hours, you can't say, I was
yeah,
expecting
but
you
most
to
men are
like
not
All right.
being upfront with them like that, bro.
Hold up.
Most men are
Hold
not
up. Now let's go
outright
back to
being
the
upfront
beginning.
saying it to
Let's
them.
go back to the beginning. Would she even be at the club if she already know what men want that are there?
Now,
Yeah.
she could be just a party.
Yeah.
Though. I know.
No,
I mean,
it's women that'll go to the club just to have a good
just a
time.
party,
I,
yeah. Like they just
yeah,
be there with their girls and
For
stuff.
what reason? The validation that they're seeking, though, there's a certain
No,
validation
they'll
you're
get it.
looking
They'll get it with a
for.
bunch
So
of
when you
other
get
women.
validation,
Got a quick announcement really quickly. So, I'm gonna still be.
Why Miss Kaya looking like that, y'all? She looking like this is some dumb.
I'm still be on,
Hey,
but
because I was
Aaron,
listening in the car and
Aaron is running the stream.
Gotcha.
So Aaron got all of the admin privileges. He running everything. Aaron is gonna be running.
Promoted. That boy got promoted.
All right, from both.
Just letting y'all know, I'm not in the driver's seat. Aaron is in the driver's seat.
Gotcha.
Here we go, guys.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna stay in the background. So Aaron, you're gonna see me in the background, but I'm gonna pull up another homie that's down in the background, and you can run it from there.
I bet.
I have something for you guys. I was listening to y'all in the car, and y'all was talking some nonsense. I just wanted to say I was driving home real quick. But y'all was talking about girls for the streets. I couldn't believe it.
They wouldn't let me on. I was in the background. Aaron tell you, I was in the back. I was trying to get back in because I was gonna speak my.
So what did you disagree with, Miss Kaya? Like, what was Doug's hit?
Okay, well, yeah, I'm maybe exaggerating a little bit, but that's what I do. Okay, but so the thing of it is that I think I was trying to see who was saying it, and I think it was just another Zoe, I'm not sure, was saying that once a girl is for the streets, that she's there, I think it was like she doesn't change, and that's who she is. And then I was like
I
thinking
think that
from
was
the...
Emmanuel.
yeah, it was.
Huh?
I
Was that Emmanuel?
I don't know who it was. I don't think it was me.
I didn't say that. I know how you
Someone
said
was saying that it was kind of going back and forth, but it was saying that she's that way and she's gonna remain that way, and like you will know because she has sex with I guess more than a couple of guys, and just everything you guys were saying. And then my pushback really was, for one, I think guys really lie to get it. They're not honest. And not to say, yes, she's held accountable as well. Who's shaking their head? No, right up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yes, you guys lie to get it, back in the day. Well, when I was back in the day for me.
Back in the
And
day.
then,
I'm talking about not in 2021. They tell you
I don't
the
think,
truth.
I don't think guys are really lying to get it like that, especially early on, because you're not meeting a girl and taking her home at night at 1 in the morning and you're promising her marriage. Come on.
Right.
it's not even promising her marriage. When I say you're lying, it's not like you go to her and I just want to hit it, and then tomorrow I don't even need to know your name. You can go our separate ways if that's all it is.
That might not be his intention.
Yeah, that might not be his intention.
That might not be his intention. He might have hit it and he didn't like it. That's why he's going to separate. If it was
Okay,
good,
then
she might
before
have
he
been careful.
leaves, if you guys are so honest, then before you leave, I wasn't feeling this, thank you, but
Nah, that's rude. If men out here talking about,
Look at my face. I be making
There's a
faces,
difference
boy. I
between
don't.
being so honest and not lying. If you're not lying, you're not lying. That's why we said really things open to interpretation. So if he's not lying, he's not lying. But if he's being his most honest self, then it's I don't know if I want the women to say if they got to pull that out, but there's questions you can ask to tell. Like women have like radar for this type of stuff.
Yeah, I was
Listen,
saying,
listen,
why
I got two ladies up there, right?
Kaya, can I quote myself
Miss
what I said?
Candy.
Can I quote?
Before you said that, Miss Candy and Miss Kaya,
Candy.
right? We were talking. I'm sorry, Miss Candy.
It's okay.
So if they're leaving it open to open interpretation, and somebody just said that's not lying, what do y'all consider that as? Y'all are women, so I'm asking y'all.
But
Yeah,
okay,
what is exactly the question? If someone's saying what?
So if a man is telling you something, and it's not direct, like there's not a clear understanding of what he's saying, it's open to basically your interpretation.
Yeah, but I don't believe in sleeping with people. First of all, I'm married, right? I've been married since I was I've been with my husband for 20 something years, so I might be a little bit, yeah, I'm a
I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to
but
get to.
yes,
You got any
but
books?
well, I'm here. I'm gonna chat with you guys. Hopefully, but I believe that you gotta watch it.
Let's go.
As a woman, you have to watch a man. You're not just sleeping with these people on the first, second, or third date. You have to look at someone. You're watching his
Don't wait
intentions.
that
You're watching
long.
his mannerisms. You're looking at how he moves. You're looking at how he interacts with other people before sex is even something that's introduced. That's my opinion. It might not be for everybody. I know a lot of people believe in sleeping on the first, second date. I'm not into that. I don't believe that a woman should be. I think we should hold ourselves more sexually accountable, both men and women. So I might not be answering your question directly, but like for me, I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at
You
how
did.
he. Oh, okay.
You
Thank you.
did.
Okay, so
You
yeah.
answered me. You answered.
Yeah, because
Because I've already
that's off
said
the
that.
table. It's off the table until I understand who you are, where your family is from.
Okay, that is great. It is. That's great. However, we're talking to women or describing women that I'm sorry, I had candy. My tongue's all red. But we're describing women that most likely didn't have the influence, don't have the discernment and all those things. What she said is great, it's amazing. Did it help? No, in my opinion. In my opinion. Because we're already there. She's already having sex and blah, blah, blah. It is valid what she says, you know, what she'll go through 3-4 days and do all of this before. So she was already had established that within herself before this other lady who the guy lied or didn't lie, doesn't matter. But we're talking about women for the streets. So we want to, and the reason I'm sharing this because she's the one who dismissed me off the show. Because it's just me and her, you know, as far as girls. But anyway, so I just think that, I don't know what I want to say. I don't want to be mean, and my mouth could be mean a little bit. Let's just continue on. But I don't think that was helpful information. I'll just put it that way.
What are you all about? How are you treating people? Because I don't want to be, I don't want to be one of those people that get tricked. So I'm doing a lot of vetting before I allow myself to be open in this kind of manner sexually, before I give my body to you. So it's off the table. There's no discussion of it. What I'm trying to find out is your middle name. I'm trying to find out a lot of things about you. And I don't mind. We don't have to go on dates. We can go hiking. We can fly a kite together. We can do all
Fly a
kinds of different things
kite.
together before. I want to find out who you are. So this idea of for the streets.
These guys are gonna, Kai, you wanna go fly a kite? I'm just being silly. I'm being silly. I'm not, you know, I really would like to do that, but I'm just being silly. But we're talking about women or girls from the street. So I'm sure we're talking about a man of a certain caliber. He ain't gonna be flying no kites. I'm just saying. Being silly. Let's continue.
I get what you guys are saying, but like women and men, we have to take a little bit more time to get to know each other before we start sleeping around. That's just my opinion.
So Kai, can I quote?
Hold on a second, man. Let's cap exec.
You see how I don't cut anybody off?
I know, but listen, cap exec. I get what you're saying, but cap exec has been in here for quite some time.
Oh, look at
and hasn't
this.
gotten to say anything. And now we have Mr. I can't see something, but working says thinking.
Just notice the agreement. Just notice the agreement and the agreement when it comes to talking against women. Not talking against women, but voicing their opinion when it doesn't favor the woman. I want to say it that way. Just check out the nodding. Okay, let's go.
They haven't got to say anything. We've all been talking, so I'm just saying, give them an opportunity to talk.
I put myself on mute.
to answer the question too. I didn't even really give my take on it either.
And Mr. Campus has been here for a good little minute. He's been here for a minute and ain't got to say nothing.
That guy been doing all the talking though. Jarvis.
Well, how this works is you get in when you feel
Hey,
you
hello?
set up this platform. So if you get in where you fit in, if you don't like it, I didn't make the platform. That's how they made it. Because you've been doing the same thing I've been doing. So just to let you know, you've been cutting a whole bunch of people off and not letting people do it. So let's call it ace or ace. Our reason I'm saying something is because Kaya quoted me. If that's why I'm involved, because she said, Kaya said, hey, somebody said these things. And I just wanted to clarify exactly what I said. So he gave an example, and he said, hey, say for example, you know, somebody, she messed with one guy, and they doing wrong. She messed with the second guy, they doing wrong. Third, fourth, and the fifth. And he said, I said that fifth guy, you can't say that he made her for the streets if she's already for the streets. So that was the statement I was making. I'm not saying that she couldn't change. I didn't say none of those things. When she's for the street, you can't say, oh, it's all these other dudes' responsibility when she already for the streets. And I just wanted to clear that up. That's kind of what I said.
Okay, you know, that's what I was talking about, that conversation when I was in the car. So that's what I'm talking about. What I believe, and I'm pretty sure with that scenario, I would, you know, guess she was deceived or lied to, because okay, so if we're gonna go with that scenario, right? So if she wasn't, why is she moving on to the next? Because we're assuming she's moving on, right? Not the guy moving on, then, from what you're saying, right?
No. So what we're saying is she could have been deceived time one.
So I don't talk as clear and direct as she does. So this is my first time seeing it, so I'm seeing like, she's like, But it's all good. My thing is, why can't we be for each other?
Too. But we can't say she got deceived number 3 times. She got deceived again number 4. Come on.
No, right. We're not talking about women, but a woman, she cannot choose to believe what a man or that person is telling her. So now you want her to like just be, because these 2 men deceive her. So now all men are gonna deceive her, right? Is that what we're saying?
I'm sorry. I love you, girl, but what are you saying? I'm lost.
I don't think
what we're looking at as a person's actions, like even though the man can be saying whatever he's saying.
No, we're talking about a girl for the streets. A girl from the streets haven't developed that character in her. If we're talking about a girl for the streets, if she's for the streets, she hasn't most likely developed that character to discern an action of a man or not. Because if she was, then she wouldn't be a woman for the streets. I would.
Women have intuition, though, right?
That's a her problem.
Okay, so yeah, I wanna come in here. Okay. So evidently, a woman can only be lied to twice, or maybe 3 times, and she needs to get it together. She cannot be deceived for that same thing again. She needs to have intuition that this man is lying to her because the other 3 men lied to her, okay? So really my point is, I see that as a problem, because that's why you have all these bitter people out here saying, oh, John and Henry and whoever did this to me, so now Michael's gonna do it to me, and not giving Michael a chance. So then here come the guys on these platforms saying, yeah, she treat me as though I was her past. So what the fuck are you saying here? So you want her to assume everybody's lying that comes after those 2 or 3 guys that lie. And then Miss Ann here, I love you, Kaya, but I don't understand. Why just because a woman makes a mistake, now she has to assume everybody that comes at her in that way is going to mistreat her as well, is going to just, you're lying. Yeah, you don't think I'm pretty. John told me I was pretty and all he wanted was my panties. Michael told me I was pretty, and I believe he only wanted me for my pennies, but come to find out later, he really wanted to get to know me, but since John did what he did, I couldn't give Michael a chance because he must be lying. Bullshit. You make a choice for yourself. Now, of course, like I said on here, I kind of contradicted myself a little bit because on here, if a woman is for the street, I said that she can't discern certain things. I meant that, but I didn't. I think over time, a woman, whether if she's for the streets and want to be for the streets, I said that before. If he say I want an F and she say I want an F and then they go F, okay, she for the streets, okay? Let her be. She for the streets and she have been for the street. I'm happy for her being for the street. Let her be for the streets. But my point is, so now we have this girl here where 1, 2, and 3 guys and lied to her to get it. So just because she believed those guys and they were lying, so now she got a label for the streets. So when she gets to 4, if we go about where Ann and the guys are saying, she should just believe he's lying. Don't believe nobody no more. Or make sure you have your intuition in play. But how is she going to have that intuition in play until and unless she gives a man a chance that really tries to get to know her, and then they have sex and then they go on to try something, but it just didn't work out? But how is she going to be given that opportunity if after the 3rd guy she believes everybody's lying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, because evidently, y'all gonna see Miss Ann. Me and her just don't agree, you know, and that's cool. She can say what she wants to say, and I should be able to say what I want to say, but I ain't coming for her. I didn't call her out on that kite flying thing, you know. I ain't come after her like, okay, well, that's you. But girls of the hood, maybe you she said she grew up in Brooklyn, but whatever. I let her have her opinion and let that be that. But, yeah, let's continue on. Come on, guys, you know? That's the problem. Everybody thinks, and then they blame the woman for, they'll say, she's treating me because she's like that because of the last guy did her. I hate my tongue is red. I'm sorry. She did that. She's treating me this way because the last guy treated her. They're sitting up here telling her, saying, you know, come on, don't believe nobody no more. How are you not going to believe nobody no more until you believe someone and they treat you right? I'm through. Let's continue on, you guys. I'm sorry for yelling. Get back in your femininity, Kaya. Okay, guys, let's continue on. I have fun. I love to laugh. Let's continue.
Though, right?
Yeah, women have agency. Women have personal.
Yeah, intuition, right?
You have to make a decision at some point
They
in
have-
life on how you're going to carry yourself. Like, I've never been tricked out of my drawers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
That's
You gotta
great.
restate the question. You
I've
gotta
been tricked out of mine more than once. So
You see, that's called honesty. She's never been tricked out of hers. Everyone's not perfect. Everyone don't have that discernment. Everyone, you know. Oh, look at my face. But everyone is, you know, I've been tricked out of mine. I've been lied to. But just when I met another guy went on, I didn't think everybody was lying to me. Let's continue.
I'm
My
gonna
definition
eat
for the
it,
streets.
Raph.
My definition for the streets for females. My definition for the streets for females is growing up, coming up. How they carry themselves in their homes with their families, moms, dads, You got ratchet chicks out here who really they fight everybody. Like literally, you could be ratchet from growing up, for the streets from growing up. It don't have to be. It don't have to literally be a man that dictator as for the streets. She can be for the streets, just growing up in the neighborhood, just being a just. You know, she don't have. It don't have to be a guy that can actually dictate that she's for the
Let me
streets.
just say this. I know I'm almost 100% sure. I'm like 99.9% sure that the overwhelming majority of these guys, Rita was never for the streets, even though she was raised in a certain environment. If a lot of these guys had got to Rita, it would have been over for her. They would have ruined her. They would have absolutely.
Why is she agreeing now? She. Okay.
Absolutely ruined her. And the Rita that I have, that you guys see today, is not the Rita that we would have seen had a lot of these other guys got to her. That's just. I'm gonna go back to the background.
Oh, I guess you didn't realize what he said at first.
We got some special men up here that don't lie. They don't lie to get the booty call.
Hold on. I can rebuttal that, though. Hold up, because she probably had many chances of men that she rejected before she got to Anton. So that's some accountability.
So how? No, exactly. Where she got that from?
That approached her get closer.
So you're
not true.
It's not true.
Bro, you do realize, and I've told this story 1,000 times. Let me go ahead and can back up. You do realize that I've told this story 1,000 times. Rita asked me to take her virginity and all of that. Like, let's be clear. When she got to me, I wasn't like the Saint Anton and all of that. Like, I was a savage. I was literally a savage, but I went back to the thing that I was taught from my father and my uncles and the way that I was raised, and I realized, yo, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it at all. I'm not going to ruin her. And I told her, and I said, you know what? You better than you even realize that you are. And even when we got back together, she was like, Anton, why won't you just do it? And I said, yo, I'm not, because you don't even realize how great you are. If any other guy had got to her and before I did, it would have been a wrap. It would have been bad. It would have been absolutely.
Thank you for coming down and telling the truth.
1,000%. And she would have been right in. I don't know for sure. Obviously, maybe we was just meant to be together, but I truly believe that she would have been in the same boat as a lot of these people that y'all talk about as being modern women today. I just believe
So what do y'all say about these? What do y'all say about these kids on TikTok coming up now, on these YouTube channels, and all these Instagram stuff? These little girls coming up and acting all ratchet and cursing on their moms and stuff like that. Are they for the streets?
So let me ask you a question. Why do they do it?
That's the thing.
For the attention of men.
For the attention of men.
That's a validation. It all comes back down to men, bro. Listen, there's no way that my daughter could ever become anything other than what it is that I train her to be.
That's what I said.
Fathers, it's a lack of leadership, and every guy out here is not practicing abstinence. Y'all busting them down. Y'all having sex with them. Y'all rolling over on their face. You eating the groceries. You doing every single thing that you find in the book.
Okay, so you say for the attention of men.
Everything that y'all want with them, and then you discard them and say ain't no good women out here.
Thank you.
I decided. Hold on. I decided that I wanted to do it one time, and then I rocked with my chick, and I don't ever want to ruin her. The reason why Rita feels so confident that she's only rocking with a plan B, like plan A. Rita don't have a plan B. She ain't got no money put up. She ain't trying to get no career. She ain't trying to figure it out. It's all based off of my
Amen.
If I had created anything other than an oasis for her to be able to exist in, she would have been a completely different woman. 100%.
So it's for the streets sexually, or is it for the streets? Because I see a lot of kids coming up now. Nothing to do with men. They're watching their moms. Who for the streets?
I'm going to step down for everybody else.
Well, what would be your definition? What's your definition of a woman that's for the streets?
That's my thing. It doesn't have to be a man that picks her.
I like the super chats, Aaron.
From what? Oh,
it isn't.
Go ahead.
What's that? Oh yeah, it isn't a man that makes that really dictates if a woman's for the streets. I mean,
yes,
sexually,
it is.
I understand that. But kids are for the streets coming up just in the ghetto. I mean, even in these homes, that $1 million homes and stuff, we got these kids, these girls, they for the streets. Basically, if you look at them, how they act and how they carry on with their parents, with their peers, it's like they're for the streets,
But
and
they don't
it doesn't
get
have
that
nothing to do with a
label,
man.
Well, here
See, and the reason why I say they don't get that label, because he's like mansions and $1 million homes and stuff, and I don't believe they get that label because that's kind of like a hood term, you know. I would think, unless she's going down to the hood doing this. And yeah, it's a different culture when you come up in the hood. And I do want to say this. I truly, all these terms, and I love my black men. I love y'all. I promise I do. But you guys come up with all these terms for us black women. Now you don't like us. We're not good enough for you. And all these terms that we get labeled, for the most part, are because of you guys. You know, most of the term, well, I guess except for being feminine, but that even goes back to you guys. Or because how you treat us. Yeah, I said it. It's because how you guys treat us. So take some accountability. It's not all our fault. Okay, I said it. And I meant it. Let's continue.
Here was my point. Here was my point to what Anton said about Rita, was that she had been in an environment where other girls were doing certain things that was for the streets.
For the streets.
She made a choice not to. And then what I was also going to say was that there was probably other men that have approached her in her life before she got with Anton or tried to, talk to Anton. So she made a choice. It's not like every. I don't think
she decided not to because I told her to keep her monkey butt in the house and to make sure that she was there when I gave her a phone call. He wanted
keep
to
in the house and keep it feminine, right? Keep in the house and keep it feminine, right, Anton?
You go home. That's what I said.
Yep.
And keep it
She
feminine.
had a direction. She had some marching orders.
I was her daddy.
Exactly. She had a leader.
Even as a young dude, I was the person that controlled that. I ran that.
That's what I'm talking about. She had leadership. She had
So
leadership.
all these other girls, they don't get that, and I'll put me in there because I'm telling you that these girls get such a bad rap. Which okay, yeah, we all make mistakes, but that's not fair. Just to put all the blame on the young lady, the girl, or whatever, and no accountability to the male. Okay, fine. Okay, it's fair. In your opinion, it's fair. That's fine. But the whole thing of Go ahead. Go ahead, just another Zoe. Help yourself, brother.
I'm sorry. All right. No, you know what? Well, it wasn't even really about you. It was about what Anton said, and I think you're kind of validating his point. And it's just that for women who get whatever tricked out they pum pum, they specifically, blame men for it. The same way that men, and any man on here can contest.
Real quick, I didn't blame men. I said men need to take accountability also. I said it's not 100% her fault, that the man has to take accountability as well.
On this, look at a dude who fly a woman out to Miami and say, hey, you come stay at this hotel, and if he don't smash, what do you call that dude? Whose fault do we blame when we tell that man to his face? Whose fault do we say it is? We say it's his fault, right?
Yeah, it's his fault. Yep.
It's no different for a woman. It's the same thing. Like, so when Ann was speaking specifically that she's never been tricked out of her, then you feel me? It's like there's a reason for that. It was how she carried herself. So
we don't do that as a woman. Oh, he tricked you out of your panties. What we gonna call him? A bitch? We don't do that.
You say he for the street.
You're not a hoe. No, you said your friends, you guys call each other simps, or we'll call him a simp, right?
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna call her a hoe because that other woman know how she got tricked out of hers too.
That's that women are more towards each other than men are towards them. That's what I hear.
Hey, Big says, can a man be tricked out of his penis?
Yes. Of course. You guys mention it all the time. Didn't y'all just call him a simp?
No.
That's not being tricked. He
No,
didn't
no,
get
he
any
paid
of
for
that.
that.
Man that
Yeah, I mean,
a man
Oh,
that
you
did
got to pay for it to be a stamp.
He paid for that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think you can trick a man
You were
out of his
expecting
feelings.
something
He paid for
else.
something that he know he wasn't gonna get. He paid for that.
He can still
Like,
get tricked out of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Let me ask y'all a question then. Does that center around, that, women control access to sex, men control access to marriage, right? So does that kind of center around that a little bit in the fact that when most women know that when a man meets you, he wants to have, I would say, sex with you, but is it just discerning? Is that all he wants to do, or does he want to do that and I guess see if you are, I guess, marriage material?
No, because if he wanted to see if I was marriage material, it wouldn't be focused on the sex.
we don't think about that.
Trying to get to know me.
Yeah. We don't think about that right there and then. We think about that after we have sex with you. We think about that we're going to be X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
We don't think about
That's
that literally.
I thought we would put it to propagate society.
Because
we think about it after we have sex with you, whether we want to wife you or we say you for the streets.
It goes back
Oh,
to
well, how are you going to tell for the streets if you want to have sex with her to determine that? So just the fact of her having sex with you, and she had a history of having sex with another man, you making her for the streets. So she's in a no-win situation.
But it goes back to men.
It goes both ways.
Go back to men are physical and women are emotional. So the reason what he's saying is I'm not going to everything.
We don't look at sex at the same.
When a man lays down with a woman and he makes that decision after he has sex with her, he's attached to you physically. You're attached to him emotionally. That's two different things. So that's why he said after a man have sex with you. I'm not going to say that's the right thing to do, but that's what happens.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
With a woman and have sex with her and get up and be like, you know what? This can be.
It could be a one-night stand.
Yeah. I think a lot of the time. I don't know if men do this, but a lot of women look at it through their lens only, and how they would perceive it, and not understanding that we don't think the same. We don't see it as the same. I heard somebody say that to men, sex is like taking a piss. You know what I mean? Like it's not. There's no like emotion behind it. It's been that way since the beginning of time.
I disagree.
I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying what I'm saying.
Like taking a piss, you guys.
This is just what I've heard.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you, bro. You're a little low, though. You're a little low, bro.
Is that better?
Nope.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Working and thinking over there, bro. I swear, when I logged on, bro, no disrespect. I thought that was R. Kelly, bro. Like I swear.
You in the truck working?
James.
Are you in the truck working and thinking? Are you in the truck?
Yeah, man. We get it out here. I see you, Joe.
Oh, I didn't know he was a truck driver.
No, I think as you get older as a man, I think women mature a lot faster than men do. That's just my experience. As you get older as a man, sex is not the same. When we were younger, man, we were just trying to put notches in our belt. We was running through everything. I mean,
can I ask you a question, working man?
Hold on. Before you ask that question, I need my man thinking, man, to answer this super chat my guy put up. He said, I got a question. Why do guys, even with money, pride themselves on having multiple baby mamas? Is it just to keep their favorite around, or?
Oh. Wow, I missed that question. I don't know where I went, but okay.
Who walk around saying, dude, you got 9, I got 10.
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
Personally, that has 11, and he's like 35.
11. Y'all hear that? 35, 11.
They can't get child support.
So maybe the pride isn't it isn't outspoken, it's in the actions. So maybe like if you got 7 baby mamas, we presume it must be something you enjoy, as opposed.
I don't associate myself with those kind of men. I don't associate myself with those kind of men.
So working and thinking, man, right? You know how you were saying women mature faster than men?
Yeah.
And as men get older, sex is not as important, right?
What?
I guess my question is, there's statistics out there that, what I'm saying, the most unhappy demographic of people are women in their 40s, make $50,000 to $100,000 a year, and are not married and don't have any kids. There's also statistics out there that 1 in 4 black women will not be married. Black women are like the least desired. So I guess what happens to that maturity? Because there are a lot of older women. There's even statistics about women
Don't I
on
don't I think you can
antidepressants and anxiety medication.
I think you're
What?
confusing maturity with outcomes. Just because they're mature doesn't necessarily they're gonna get certain outcomes. I think
Yeah.
But what was he
you can
saying?
Okay, gotcha.
I didn't get what he was saying at all.
Irresponsible. Let's talk about irresponsible penis. Some of these guys out here irresponsible. and they're
IP.
See, I had to go get something to eat.
POG is horrible. Their POG is horrible. Pull-out game. When you go,
Oh, I was about to say, what is POG?
And the POG is horrible. And, you know, and so...
They still do that? The pull-out?
She locks, man.
I can't fathom that these women out here say, oh, I got a woman's intuition and I know a trash guy when he walks through the door, I can smell him getting off the elevator. But so many of them sleep with these guys and get pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Like I told you personally, bro, I know a guy, he graduated 2 years before me. He's like 35 and he has 11. 11 kids.
11 jobs?
He's 11 kids.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right, Dwayne. Right.
And it's to the point where they can't even get child support because if the government takes 20% of his check,
he does.
He has nothing.
Yeah, that's more
it's
than
a wrap. Yeah, he can't get up. I was like,
Okay, you guys. In this situation, I would say it's her fault once you get past 5 kids, assuming that she knows he has, you know, these prior kids. If she know he has X amount of baby mamas, X amount of kids, and she's hooking up with him, no, that doesn't go under my scenario where, you know, she just didn't know or forgive her. No, that's come on now. We gotta be smart. We gotta do better than that. Gotta do better than that. So I don't back that up. You know, I'm gonna pray for her. I'm gonna be like, girl, let's pray for some wisdom for you.
For me, I've always looked at it, I can't fathom having kids and not being some type of influence on their life, not being there.
Yeah.
And knowing that they're in the world. You know what I mean? For me, I don't know how do you call yourself a man if you do stuff like that?
There's some trash dudes out here like that, bro. Some trash dudes out here like that.
Now, I have a question. Oh, I think some of you guys were saying that the responsibility is on the woman as far as sex is concerned. Is that accurate? Am I understanding
Yeah,
that
men
correctly?
are responsible for relationships and women. No, men control the relationships. Women control the sex.
That's a different statement, though. He said responsibility, not control.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly.
Well, that'd be on both. That would be on both, huh?
Everyone's responsible for their own body.
Yeah.
Access to sex. We're talking about access to having sex.
Then that would be on women. Then women control access to sex. Men control access to marriage.
Yeah, but that's a different question. He said, "Are we responsible?" Not who's in control of it. Yeah. And somebody said men are responsible for their end, women are responsible for their end. I mean, on the deeper end, I think you're responsible for the impact, not just what you're involved in, how it affects.
I totally agree.
There's responsibility.
I totally agree.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to get at. I mean, as a man, man, you have to take if we're gonna take responsibility for our actions, then take responsibility for your actions for wholeheartedly, even when it doesn't benefit you. So we know. I mean, like Anton was saying, I was a monster out here. You know what I'm saying? When I was younger, you know, as far as
allegedly.
But you got to be honest. I mean, that the things that we do to people, you know, as men, we don't actually feel it. I heard somebody say, man, men have we're making people feel something at all times. So even though, you know, I mean, even though you don't remember the act, women remember that stuff. It sticks with them different than it does us.
Yeah,
but we know that though. We know that. We know, like, if you tell her, because I've been in all these different positions. You tell a woman, hey, I just want to have a good time. I'm not looking for this. I'm not looking for that. You and I both know, as men, if we sit down and just eye to eye, we know how that's going to end up. Historically speaking, like if dealing with women, you know how it's going to end up. So even though she may not know or may not be aware, you know.
See.
So if you know.
Right.
Why take her down that road if you're not if you're not gonna be serious? Now I'm not saying I've never done that. I'm just saying we all know
what
That's
happens.
kind of what I was saying too, brother. That's kind of what I was saying.
So y'all are basically framing it like all sex that ever occurs is a predatory act of a man on a woman. The way that you guys are framing it.
No.
Unless you're going to actually commit to that woman long term, then it's predatory. It's
No.
No. Because you're saying that even if you're honest with her, if you tell her straight up, hey, no, I just want something fun, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
then you
you're
give her
saying
the
that's still
choice.
wrong. So
No.
at that point, you're framing it as predatory no matter what.
I think it depends on how you look at the world, right? So, you know, if you look at the world as something that you can actually impact, then you want to put as least amount of negative energy out as possible. I mean, but I'm saying this, I'm 35. If you ask me the same question at 20, I wouldn't have this perspective. But we all are making an impact. That's all I'm saying. And I'm saying it's predatory. It can be if you know and she doesn't. That is predatory. If you think about it. If you know that she's gonna get emotionally attached, she's a good girl. For example, like the example that Anton gave, he could have played that predator role, but he chose something different. You see what I'm saying? Like I think we know it. Me and all of the brothers on the panel, we're all intelligent. You know, we know we made mistakes. We know we taking advantage of situations that we should not have, and that's the only thing that I'm saying. That's it. That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that in a way. Like we have an impact on people.
Bravo.
And it's not to be
Yeah,
that
we do.
savage and
In that
you
way,
know,
yeah.
decision. But at the same time, I gotta play devil's advocate because as men, we're not always going in with bad intentions. Some women we like and we want to deal with, and they dumped us. Also, some of these women that you're saying, hey, maybe they got manipulated by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. They might have rejected 100 guys that actually really liked them,
So they're
but
not
maybe
for the
they didn't
street
match
then.
up to whatever criteria she had. Because think about
Didn't
it.
you say earlier, Shaheen? Didn't you
Women
say
reject
earlier?
men all day, every day.
You got the BFF girls too, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Shameen, can
Didn't
you
you,
say that
Shaheen? Didn't you say earlier that
Oh wait, what?
Shaheen said something earlier along the line. I can't remember.
You have the
Go ahead,
BFF
guys. Go
girls, the best foot forward girls too. The ones that you go and y'all will be together. Like you said, some guys are getting dumped. That's fine. That happens, right? That's an impact on the guy.
Yeah.
But also the best foot forward girls are the girls that make you feel like a king. And then 3 months in, she has an episode where you like, damn, whoa, I ain't know that the first 3 months happened. And then you end up saying, no, this ain't for me. And then you got the thin line between love and hate situation.
So after one guy,
She only get one opportunity to act out crazy one time. Maybe it was just that time of the month. Give the sister another chance.
Oh, no.
Listen.
I'll say that. Can I say, you know what? When I hit you that night, you caught me at the wrong time of the month, and I'm sorry. You know, I can't be with you. It's the wrong time of the month for me. I mean, it was early in the morning. You know, I caught you running it through the park. You know, I gave you some, and I just don't want. I don't want to deal with it no more.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and I know to stay away from you. Thank you so much for not wasting any more of my time. I appreciate you, and it wasn't that good. No,
Hey, what's up, everybody? I was hoping to chime in on this on a different perspective. I'm loving the conversation, by the way. This is the type of conversations, man, that me and my cousins and my boys, we be having from time to time with our cigars and our beer out late night in the parks. But, man, like, real talk, going back to the whole...
You guys, I am so sorry. You know, I am a mom, too. My daughter is calling me, and I'm just going to stop the live right here. But I'm going to pick it back up in a couple of minutes. So there's no one here right now anyway. I'm having fun. I haven't watched it. And so anyway, so I'm going to pick this up in a little bit. I got to go do something for my little princess. All right, guys, I appreciate you so much. I do what I do because I live for him, because he died for me. I am in the business of inspiring, encouraging, and challenging us women to be the very best us. Okay, you guys? So I'll be back in a little bit to continue this live and figure out if I can just keep it going or I'll just start another one, a new one. I truly, truly appreciate you and I thank you. Until next time, I'm so glad we had this time together. Is that Carol Burnett? I'm really telling my age. Okay, you guys, I'll be back. Thank you.